Golf season is in full swing. We talk about on this show. We got green grass in the Northeast. We got big time winners on the PGA Tour. We got major championship golf on the LPGA Tour. We got little team action this week. So all kinds of hot action in the golf world. And we're going to talk about all of it. And Lasik updates, our real life updates, some cord talk that I'm sure people are just going to absolutely love. It's all brought to you by our great friends at Chevy.
Chevy, together, let's drive. We love Chevy forever. And it's just been a real great partnership for us. We are always in Chevys when we are traveling, specifically at McLemore when we went from Augusta all the way up to Georgia and back and the whole deal. We were in Atlanta for like 2 weeks. We were in Chevys and they were so comfortable and just such a great ride. We're very proud of this series. This is the McLemore series is something that, you know, this is kind of our bread and butter, being able to go and kind of show off new golf resorts. We are big golf resort guys. We love to go with our own buddies' trips and our dads and the whole deal, and we love to bring them to the right spot. And this is a brand new one, and to us, that's really important to show people. And they were great. They were great hosting us and the restaurants and everything from A to Z. You'll see the way that we kind of lay it all out there. So make sure you go check that out on YouTube. It's a great Thursday to listen to some golf talk. And shout out to Chevrolet.
The Equinox EV, baby. The Equinox EV helps you really get everything that you possibly need, from room to technology. We got the 319 miles of range on a full charge, 17.7-inch diagonal standard touchscreen display. Head over to Chevy.com/Equinox EV. Check out the product info, the lease offers, the amazing deals. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
But it's nice just to know that when the big dogs show up, the numbers also show up.
Fore-play, presented by Barstool Sports. We are back, myself, Frankie, and Trent. We were in good old Iowa this week. It was very nice. It was very lovely to be at Thinkbine. There's all kinds of Hawkeye action going on. I think we got the only nice day, it appears, that there's going to be in a long stretch of days. And I think I looked at the 10-day forecast. It's just rain and pretty chilly and not that great. And we had like 75 and sunny, Trent. So I don't know, maybe we just bring the weather down there.
I think we got lucky. I do remember when we put out the Barstool Classic list of dates and locations, I had a few people reach out to me being like, early or mid-April in Iowa is going to be dicey. And I knew that. And then I looked at the forecast last week when we were coming here. I'm still here. I'm in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I stayed at my parents' place last night. It's been lovely to see them.
That's beautiful, you know?
It's nice. Lovely. We had a lovely time last night. All my brothers and sisters came over last night. We had a great time. I love being here. I mean, I looked at the forecast and I was like, oh, we're going to get screwed. And then we somehow just got really lucky with a 70-degree day. Very sunny. I woke up in the morning to thunderstorms, which is something, for whatever reason, when I lived in New York and Florida, I don't get a ton of that. But when I'm in the Midwest and you wake up to thunderstorms, it really made me feel like I was at home. So, yeah, we got lucky. It was a great day out there. Great to meet everybody. A bunch of repeat guys who were at the Iowa one last year and the last 2 years. So I love coming to Iowa with the Classic. And, we had a good time yesterday.
I think when I get into the Midwest again, like you were kind of saying, you wake up to a nice thunderstorm, or you kind of hear it, or you get up to go pee or something, there's a nice thunderstorm. You can hear I kind of feel the thunder rolling. It makes me feel very at home. I actually sleep better. It's very peaceful to go back to sleep. I don't know if it's like a white noise type of thing. I don't know if it's just kind of a comfort from the Midwest, but you're right. We don't, obviously out here in Arizona, we don't get thunderstorms. We either get monsoons once every 400 days or we get nothing. So yeah, it was very nice to get a little Midwestern weather. We had some corn shirts out there. We had some 8% ABV sneaking up on some people, I will say. Some folks sort of admitted that later. They're like, I gotta be honest, man, I was just drinking those things like they're a normal seltzer, like they're a normal beer. And next thing you know, I looked down later in the day and it was at 8% ABV. So the Trulies can really sneak up on folks. But yeah, it was delightful to be in Iowa. It really was, I believe, my first time ever in Iowa. I kind of did a little bit of a check. Maybe as a really young child, I was there for some family event, but I don't think so. So Barstool Classic rolling on. It was nice to be in Iowa. Trent continues to have some serious cord issues, which, probably just got to get him another cord at this point. I think that's probably big.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It's reaching pathetic. It's pathetic now that we can't just figure out. I don't know if it's on Alex Bush or someone to just stop one of our guys from dropping out of the podcast and like losing conversation. He just doesn't have a good wire. So I don't know. This has like been 3 months of this, right? Like he has a faulty wire. Just like I had a faulty Google search last episode. I want to address that right off the top. I said that Tommy Fleetwood only made $8 million. I don't even know how I got to that point. I don't know if it was Grok or ChatGPT. If you Google Tommy Fleetwood earnings, it's impossible to get to 8.5 million. They will never spit that number back out. So I don't know who I typed in. I don't know what. Maybe it's these new eyes, but I said it. I ran with it. He, in fact, has made like 28 million, or maybe it was like 25.8. I still don't even know what the number is. I think the point was supposed to be that he made a lot of money without winning a PGA Tour event. And the number is like 3 times what I even said. So
I think it looks like it's 37.6 million. Is that true? On course.
That might even be wrong. I thought it was in the 20s.
So according to the AI overview, it says 37.36, but according to this link right here, Frankie, it says 26.6 million. How do you just go to their goddamn website? That's where the AI thing kind of throws me for a loop.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's a little bit like, come on, AI. Like, that's a pretty easy one. I had the other day, I was trying to compare a bunch of stuff to like Rory. Obviously, I was doing a whole thing. Is Rory the greatest European player of all time? Is Rory a top 15 player of all time? What's he need to do the top 10? And I just typed into ChatGPT, like, give me a list of the top 30 men's major winners in the history of golf. And it took it like 15 minutes to try to compute the entire thing. And I was like, I think there's just a list online that I could find in 1 second. So I don't know. Maybe we're just not that great at using
on
AI.
PGA Tour website. It says $27.728 million, $27,728,618. So shout out to Tommy Fleetwood, more than 3 times what I said that he had made. And there's one guy that's real mad about it. He messaged me. He messaged the Borelli's account. He messaged, I'm sure, fore-play. Real angry that I didn't know it. He wanted Dan Rappaport back to be able to give us some sense of credibility when talking about the game of golf and Tommy Fleetwood. So he has now moved over to the Dan show and will no longer be listening to fore-play because I said that Tommy Fleetwood made $8.5 million, which is just a mistake. So sometimes you get it wrong. I'm dealing with a little dry eye this morning. I got to figure out why. Well, I'm only like 5 days into this Lasik thing, but I wake up with dry eyes, and then sometimes I hit it with that medicine, and it just fucking. I got a real red eye right here. It's just dry as hell, and I'm blinking like a million times. But I'm just hoping to get past this medicine part of my life. These medicine drops.
You had that checkup. You had the checkup yesterday with them, didn't you? What'd they say?
Said it was great. 20/20 vision, beautiful looking retina. The whole deal, everything's intact. Didn't rub it. Didn't do anything wrong. I'm on a fast track to beautiful eyes, but I'm just in the thick of it. I'm actually going to turn this light off right now. Oh,
there you go.
Relief. You know, I don't know. It's almost like when you just have like allergies and you just can't you can't beat like the blink. You know what I mean? It's just still right in there. No matter what you do, it's almost, like the corners start to just get a little like burny. Has that ever happened to you when your eyes start to like kind of run and tear?
Yeah.
That's the sensation. It's not like I can't not live with it. It's just nagging. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. But I think I'm going to go try and play. I think I'm going to play some golf today. Maybe wear some sunglasses. See if I can do it. See how the new eyes do out there. I don't know yet.
The first spin with the new eyes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I kind of want to get out there. They said I could do it, but I should wear sunglasses for the first like month, just so it's not so strenuous. But yeah, we're gonna see. I mean, I really want to play. I feel like I'm in a good spot with my game right now. I'm building. I'm like doing what I did last year, where I'm playing a decent amount. I'm playing Colonial. I'm really like hitting a lot of greens. I'm like feeling it right now. Like I want to keep going. I got that itch, so I don't want to take any time off. And I'm excited to just see what the course looks like. You know?
Oh man, there's nothing more exciting than being able to get out there, especially out in New York for you guys right now. It's springtime. You know, it's starting to get a little green. I'll say
degrees, dude.
Videos you posted, the courses are looking nice. Did you guys get a good amount of rain or something this spring? Because they're looking lush.
feel like we've gotten a decent amount of rain. It's just been, we haven't had like harsh winters. It's been a little cold, but we haven't had that snow. So I feel like all these courses out here don't have that. They haven't had that like freeze over the golf course that really damages it. You go out east and like they prepare for these crazy winters, and you drive past Shinnecock and they've got every single green covered with tarp, right? Like in November, December, January, February, you'll drive by because it's like a main road and you can see there's tarps all over all the greens, and they're preparing for that freeze for the grass. And there goes Trent Ryan again with his wire. His wire has cut out. It just is what it is. But yeah, and we just haven't had that crazy bad winter. I don't think that we've had a really, really bad. We had a decent amount. We had some snow this year because I did shovel a lot, but it just hasn't been that like that really bad New York winter in a long time. Couple of years, probably since I bought the house, we haven't had like one of those huge snowstorms where like you couldn't get out of the front door, which I think sets golf courses back. So weather's been good, and the courses look great. They aerate them really early, especially at Colonial, and like you got to deal with the bumps in the beginning, and then like as you go week by week, it just starts to flatten out. Dude, agronomy is unbelievable. Just like how they can keep these courses. I mean, obviously Augusta, we watch it and we get so horned up for how they can get that place as beautiful as they can get, but just agronomy in general, all these guys, these superintendents that are able to just dial in these golf courses, like I don't know how the fuck they do it, man. Like I can't even take care of my yard in the backyard. Like I'm looking out and I'm like, there's gopher holes and there's like dead spots. And I don't know, man. It's fucking crazy how they can get this thing perfect.
Not only this thing perfect, but think about how much territory that is. Think about how much of a, like if you compare it to your backyard, your front yard, any yard that you have to mow, they have dozens and dozens of acres of grass of different different types of grass, different heights of grass, different thickness of grass that they just have to keep absolutely perfect all over the place. And I remember when we did the behind the greens with good old Steve Rabideau, the rabbi, the absolute legend, one of the great figures of the Wingfoot U.S. Open, him puffing on that cigar. But he was saying, he gets up at 5 a.m, whatever it is, as soon as the sun comes up, and just walks the entire property every single day, legitimately every single day, both courses, the west, east. And it's like, yeah, you kind of have to do that. How else could you do what they do? Because you can't show up to Wingfoot, man, and you're all jacked up. You've heard everything about it, all the U.S. Opens, and then you get out there, and even if on each hole there just happens to be a brown, like dead patch of grass near one of the fairways, just 18 times, and it's a small little patch, you'd be like, yeah, Wingfoot's really gone to shit, even if it's not in fucking play, even if your ball just flies over it. So yeah, the superintendents, I don't know how they do that. What an effort it is for them, and then factor in all the different weather. Like out here, the superintendents, I have to think, because I'm out here in Arizona, I have to have one of the easiest superintendent jobs on the planet. It's just the same weather every day. It's just, it's like 50 or 55 degrees at night. And then it gets up to between like 65 and 85 from, let's say, mid-October until right now. Now it's starting to get a little bit hotter, but that's a relatively easy job, I would say, for superintendents. But man, when you're talking about New York and all that, yeah, I couldn't believe how green it looked when you were posting a bunch of those stories. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, and shout out to the video that we just posted yesterday as you're listening to this. We were at, and we talked a lot about it, McLemore Resort in Georgia, and we played the Keep, which is a brand new golf course. And you're going to hear a lot of us talking about how that golf course is still in its infancy. It's still so young. The grass is actually still taking to that land. So at the end of the day, when you're playing it in its preview mode as we did, it doesn't even look at all to what it's going to look like in 2-3 years when all the fescue they've just planted, they've just put this seed down, stuff that's going to be there, this native area that's going to be there for 100 years. When they're going to trim it year after year and they're going to contain it, but like the actual base of this natural area and all of this waste area that your ball's going to get lost in, it's not even there yet. So it's really, really cool to see a course literally just be laid down sod to the point where when we were in the fairway, there was just squares of sod kind of all forming like they're like starting to touch each other and turn into one, right? You take 1 million squares of sod and they all start to kind of grow into each other and get flat and firm. And we're there for the beginning of it. So it's definitely not an easy process because we've seen it from the beginning now. And we see all these videos, especially when we do the travel series, and you guys will see in the footage, like it starts out as a dirt pile, these golf courses, a sand pile, right? Like, and then they go in and they put the sod down. It's crazy. And they put seed and they're watering it. And it's just what it starts as and what it turns into. Amazing. It really is like a scientific, marvel.
It is, and I've been lucky. I'm thinking a couple different courses. So the Sheep Ranch out at Bandon, I got a tour of that with Bill Core, Matt Janella, Tom Pashley was a part of that before. I want to say like a year before the Sheep Ranch even opened, and it was laid out like a bunch of the greens had been like shaped, laid out. They had like planted, I believe, so you couldn't walk in certain spots, but it hadn't grown in yet. And then came a year later and saw it. And was like, holy shit, how does it go from just a flat, slightly shaped, putting surface of sand all the way to just a perfectly manicured, beautiful 18 greens. 9 of the green sites at Sheep Ranch are on the water. And then Pinehurst number 10, which opened about a year ago, I got to do the same thing. Tom Pashley, I was out there. We ripped around in a golf cart. We kind of like got a little bit of a tour and saw it before the grass had been grown in. And then you see it, I think it was like maybe 6 months later, where it is kind of coming up. It hadn't quite opened yet. And it is funny to see like how they just lay the sod. And then like you were just saying, the sod touching each, like the rectangles of sod touching each other, and like almost out of The Last of Us, where it's like they start to intermingle.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Connect with one of us with like, and the tentacles. And then within, however long that takes, another month, another couple of weeks, you go out there and you can't see the lines between the sod at all. It is like kind of a beautiful, very satisfying process. And I'm sure a bunch of people have covered that. And there's probably a lot of videos you can watch from, course architecture, or course maintenance, Twitter or Instagram or whatever. Imagine that being an incredibly satisfying video. But yeah, that the McLemore series is out now. The first video from the Keep, from the new course that they've got. We talked about it quite a bit when we were there, but the land, the topography, you just don't expect it. It's in Georgia, right? Like the mountains of Georgia. For me, being from Missouri, living in the Northeast, living now out in the West and in the desert, I never think of mountains when I think of Georgia. So to roll there and have the Keep kind of just appear, and you have this site where it's like every hole has a mountain view. You're looking off the cliff. You could see all the way to North Carolina, which was a stunning fact when they told us that for the first time. And then have these really, really cool holes. It's a spectacular golf course to Keep, just opening. And yeah, I think we had an all-time match there, and a lot of drama and a lot of stakes. There was like dinner online, and dinner is very important to this group. So the first video came out with the whole crew. We had 6 of us. Boys Golf Trip Travel Series is kind of back in terms of interviewing people. It was like a nice mix of seeing somewhere completely new, having the new sort of crew that we've got, but also doing a little bit of the old formula with the Travel Series.
Yeah, I thought it was good golf as well. So I think guys are starting to play a little bit better. We're kind of rounding into form now. It's not such of a tough watch as people were saying when we were all vying for that illustrious spot at TPC Sawgrass when Trent ended up winning it. We were all like, whatever it was, the winning score was like 8 over par through 6 holes or whatever.
It was a little ugly.
It was ugly, right? But I think, and we play a lot of golf and we're very aware of it. And I think now, things are just starting to tighten up a little bit. Matches are starting to get a little bit better. Guys are starting to hit the ball. I mean, Francis is really hitting the ball great, which makes the matches a little bit tighter. So yeah, it's a good time. Trent Ryan has returned. It looks like he has no microphone.
I'm not doing mic. I the cord that I was using is dead, and Alex Bush said just hop in with no mic. And he said he has a program where he can fix it. So I'm going no microphone because, as I'm sure has been documented, whenever my cord falls out and I leave, I'm sure there's some commentary, and it's gone. So I'm going no mic until I get a new cord, it's great to be back with you guys.
Love it. Yeah, we were just talking about the Keep and how that video's out right now. We were talking
Great
about
place.
the infancy of that golf course and how all the squares of sod kind of touch each other like they're from The Last of Us. Like it's so new, so brand new. But yeah, no, it's great. I mean, that cord right there at this point too, like that cord has been around for like, because it's like the Android cord. That is like the most common cord I would say in the world now, right? Like the one that's got the two little lines on it and it goes to a USB. Like there's so many new cords out there, USB-C and
Yeah.
lightning, all this bullshit. That cord I think has been around since like the cockroaches have been around at this point. Like I think you were hooking up your Nintendo 64 with that thing. And the fact that we haven't gotten you just like 100 of them, right? I think they're $1 each. Like just 1,000 cords, maybe 1,200 cords, one for each day. You could take a new cord out of a bag, throw it on the ground, and then get a new one tomorrow. And we just keep saying like this one cord won't work. Like enough with that cord, man.
I mean, I'm sure it's on me too. Like I just haven't been in the same place very long, so I haven't like gone and gotten a cord. But yeah, no, it's definitely I would say it's a less common cord now that's probably being phased out. Like
Maybe.
everything
it's
else
like a Radio Shack cord.
Right.
It's
I
like-
actually don't know if you can buy one of those cords. Like it's like Alex was even texting me like, yeah, if it's a USB-C hookup, then just use your charger cord, which I want to give myself a little bit of credit. If that had been a USB-C and my other one had stopped working, I think I would have figured that out eventually. But
yeah, there's a really good chance I would think that you would have gotten there on your own.
so it's a cord that it's been fucking up and I just haven't gotten a new one. So I'm going to get a cord or maybe a new mic. I might just buy 8 new mics and just figure it out that way. I don't know, but hopefully this saga is coming to an end soon because the rage I feel that bubbles up inside of me because when it falls out of the back end of the mic, there's this click that happens and then you guys go mute. And I've just like the feeling that has now like it's made an inroad in my brain where it's like, all right, now your mic doesn't work anymore. I could just break everything around me. So we're going to figure
We've all fell victim to the cord at one point. I used to have a faulty cord as well. And then you just get, it's just like, it's real bad. It is. Cause like you touch something one way or another and then you really got to stand there and you can't have a normal conversation because you don't want to move and you can't move your arms and it is what it is,
There's one on its way. I just need to figure out which one because my mic has USB-C, USB-C. So the mics have changed, I guess.
If we want to do it's an audio podcast.
Yeah, let's do it, Trent. Let's figure out the cord, Let's just get that. Let's get that cord.
A lot of cord talk. Well, this side is USB-C. That goes into the computer. But this side is that boy.
Yeah, no one knows what that is.
It's the 3 I don't even know how to describe it clearly because I haven't
It's
ordered
the micro USB.
Micro USB.
Oh, wow. I never knew that's what that's called. The only thing I use that cord for, I have that, obviously this microphone, but then to charge like a actual portable charger that I use to charge my phone, that's like the only thing that it takes. So I have like a side one or whatever for that. But I haven't, outside of this mic, I haven't seen that cord in a long time. I don't think that gets
I
used
use
a
it
lot
all. I've
anymore.
got a million of them in my house because, like, when I charge my Simply Safe cameras and stuff, like anything that's kind of
That's a
got
good
that
call.
like older base to it, not older, but like it hasn't switched to USB-C. It's always that like Android whatever.
The only thing I've ever used otherwise other than my mic is I used to have a weed pen that charged with the USB micro. That was it. It was like that. Like there's very random items that get charged by that cord.
I've got a pen that goes in my ear and I can see on my phone what's in my ear.
That's kind of cool.
I got Instagram added on that one. Like they were cleaning out their inside of their ears and I bought it and it really is unbelievable how addicting that thing is. You can see all the gook in there and it's got a little scooper and you just scoop it out and you're like, and it looks so big in the screen. You're like, holy smokes, I'm about to take out like an absolute gold nugget. And then you put it on the little like tissue and there's nothing. It's nothing. It's like a little flake.
Right. Before I forget, we mentioned the Barstool Classic off the top before my mic broke. I want to give a shout out to this guy who he wore a Dairy Queen stocking hat. It just said Dairy Queen across the front. And I commented on it all day. We were on the first tee, obviously doing walk-ups. And I was like, that's the best hat ever. Before the tournament even started, I was like, that's the greatest hat I've ever seen. after the tournament, I said again, I was like, I love that hat. And at one point, he just took it off and gave it to me. And I want to give a
Wow.
shout out to that guy.
I did not know that.
His name is Killian. He pretty much had no choice because I really kept talking about it. Every time I saw him, I was like, that hat's amazing, dude. And he was like, I know. And then he gave it to me. So I said I was going to give him a shout out, and I want to fulfill my promise. So shout out to my guy Killian who gave me the Dairy Queen hat. I think I have it.
Hell yeah.
Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't.
It's an intimate hat to share with a stranger, a stocking hat, right? Like it's warm, sweaty.
He did say make sure you wash it. He said make sure you wash it before you put it on.
It's funny that he's telling you that. Like, make sure you wash that.
He's like, you gotta wash
this thing.
He knows what he's felt in that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, God.
I actually don't. At the moment, I don't know where the hat is, but I do have it somewhere here. But shout out to that guy.
Like sweat so much like the stocking cap starts to like form on your head, you know, when you can like feel it up here, like the lines from the hat. It's like, ooh, that's
also not going to get a ton of use from me. I live in Florida now, so it's just something I wanted to have in my possession.
That's a good hat. Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen merch is sick.
Dude,
DQ.
I'd never seen it before. And I was like, where did you even get that?
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. NHL playoffs are here, and the only place to buy hard to get playoff tickets is Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NHL playoff tickets. The Blues boys are down 2-0. They lost 2 games on the road. They're playing Thursday night. I would love to get to a Blues game this playoffs. I don't know how long they're going to last. I'm hoping. You haven't lost at home yet, so you're still alive. But if worst case scenario, I'm hoping the Vegas Knights are going to kind of roll at some point. They're not far here from Arizona. I've been looking on Game Time. They got great prices. You can sit right up there by the glass. You want to sit a little deeper and get something a little bit more affordable. They got the GT Picks feature, which really takes out a lot of the hassle and so it's last minute tickets. It's great. NHL playoffs. All kinds of baseball, everything's going on, and Game Time's the spot to get tickets, boys.
Yeah, I'm looking right now in New York. You got the Blue Jays playing the Yankees, and it says hockey jersey giveaway, which I actually saw the Yankees are giving away a sick New York Yankees hockey jersey, which they say right there on Game Time. You know it's a giveaway day. You go online, you hit GT Picks, and it literally takes all those huge numbers that are all around the stadium and just gives you, 20 of their best options. You got one $75 right on the third base line for the New York Yankees, second row. Like, come on, man, row 4 like that. You can sit behind home plate up in the top section for $50. Sit right behind the dugout for $200. It's all right there. GT Picks kind of just eliminates all the craziness on that app and just picks what they think for you is the best decision. So make sure you go on there. Game Time is for sure the best, option when getting last minute tickets.
It's the best. It's not even close. And you could take the guesswork out of buying NHL playoff tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code FORE, that's FORE, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code FORE for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game Time. The NBA 82 game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here. It's time for all of the high stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw dropping plays. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA. From play-in games all the way through to the finals, it's now time to back your favorite players and teams as they chase glory. All season long, DraftKings has been the go-to spot for NBA player props. And that doesn't stop now. Want to make your playoff experience even more intense? Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40, or more? It is your call. Ready to place your first bet? You just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Lock in your bets, and let's make this playoff run unforgettable. Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers, you bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. We know DraftKings makes everything a lot more exciting.
You are listening to the voice of a guy who bet the Oklahoma City Thunder before the season started to win the NBA title. They are up 2-0 at the time of recording. They are up 2-0 on the Memphis Grizzlies. They have been killing the Grizzlies. And they're currently the favorites to win the title. So I am very locked into these NBA playoffs. There's games every single night. You go on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, find the player props, pick a team, look at the spread. It's all right there. They make it very, very simple. But yeah, I'm locked in on the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I'm very curious to see where they finish out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great time to be on the app. I'm on fire right now. I rolled that Rory McIlroy victory right into NHL playoffs. I've been on the Iceman real hard. I mean, as hard as I was on Rory, and he's 2-0, hitting these overs. Colorado, they're hitting the over every single time they play. Nathan McKinnon getting 2 points is such an automatic every time that he plays. Even last night, a 3-team parlay, just absolutely nailed it. Carolina knew they were going to beat the Devils. Knew that Minnesota was going to win. Like, just feeling it right now, like really just feeling it on the DraftKings app, rolling on the NHL playoffs. Cannot wait. NBA playoffs, I've kind of stayed away from because I haven't watched the NBA this year, but really enjoying watching them. Might get in on the action on the Thunder now because they are just dominating.
Yeah, DraftKings is the place to do it. Make sure you can make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code 4. That's code 4, FORE, for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Speaking of liking it, the JT is good for golf thing confirmed true. The ratings came in from the RBC Heritage. Just had to mention this really quickly. The highest ratings for the RBC Heritage in 23 years. The 4.36 million was the average viewers. Peaked at over 6 million, which feels like a shit ton. CBS also announced with all these ratings that 4 of their 5 final round broadcasts in 2025 have seen increased viewership this year, and CBS has averaged 2.46 million viewers, which is up 26% from last year. So it feels like not that long ago we were talking about the American Express, which had a pretty lame sort of leaderboard. It's just, I don't know, it didn't have the juice, doesn't have the pop. Ratings were very, very low, and then next thing you know, we've had some big winners, big names. We obviously had Rory break through. He's won 3 times already. We've had Ludwig. We've had just some big names win. And then JT breaks through, first win in 3 years. Fantastic ratings. So feels like we're on a little bit of an upswing here when it comes to the popularity of the game.
I'm really glad that we got the Rory wins and now the JT win, because when we talk about ratings, and I think when we've talked about it in the past, we've given the theoretical idea of like, if it's just the big names are winning and they're playing in the final groups on Sunday, golf can get really big numbers. And I'm glad we're getting to play it out in real life, where it's when you get big winners, and it's the most obvious thing in the world, but when the biggest golfers win the biggest golf tournaments, the ratings are going to be way up. And when middle of the road or lesser known golfers win these golf tournaments, people aren't going to watch. So we, like, again, it's super obvious, but like having that happen, being like, all right, because it would suck if Rory won, the Players, and he won at Pebble, and then the Masters, and now JT at RBC, and the numbers came back and they were still flat. Then we got a real problem. Then golf is dead and it's dying, and I don't know what they're going to do. But there is something now. There is proof that when the golf is really, really good and the players are super notable and famous, golf can succeed and even exceed what it has done in the past. And I think that is a really promising sign. I don't know if we're going to get, JT and Rory winning every tournament or big names winning every tournament. That would be great for the game of golf. But it's nice just to know that when the big dogs show up, the numbers also show up.
Yeah, and I had that clip that we put out that said we might be in the midst of the greatest PGA Tour year of our lives. Obviously, there's a difference between what I'm saying in terms of the whole leaderboard being packed with the best players and the parity of the best players all being able to hoist trophies at the end of events, as opposed to one guy dominating it. Like, there's a difference between Tiger Woods dominating the PGA Tour. That's like its own kind of category of the greatest golf you'll see. Scotty Scheffler coming out and like setting records, like that is a different category. What I mean is, like, every week you don't know who's going to win. And that is usually typical, but it's names like in 2024, like in Hawaii, Chris Kirk won. This year, Hideki Matsuyama won, right? So like that right there is already a big difference. Last year at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, Wyndham Clark won. This year, Rory McIlroy won. So like there's a huge difference between what happened just 12 months ago. And then of course, like you've got, like Jake Knapp won, Nick Taylor won last year, like the Phoenix Open, and and Austin Eckroat won, and Scotty like dominated, right? But like now you've got multiple. You got Hovland winning this year, and you've got Rory
I just
winning
looked
3
too-
times, just
it's
like
like
Scotty did last year.
Matthew
Ludwig
Pavone won the Farmers last year, and it was like Ludwig Oberg this year. You know, it's like
Ludwig
that's big. That's a
Oberg
big
won
deal.
at Torrey Pines, which was like you couldn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, that's an amazing win for him. Like, it's just there's something in the air this year. Is my point. There's names out there that's like every single week, and you've got Bryson, who was in the mix at the Masters, who's probably going to win a major this year. Scotty still hasn't even won this year, so like it's already been such a great year, and you haven't even had Scotty Scheffler, who made last year so historic, hasn't even won yet. So I just think that we're in. You know, it's only April, and we are in for just a great next 3 majors and great big PGA Tour events. You got the Ryder Cup. I just think 2025 will go down as a pinnacle year. We already got one of the greatest Masters of all time, so it's already going to shoot it up to the top of the best years. So yeah, I just wanted to confirm and stamp stamp that for me that I'm holding true and I'm holding strong on that take.
Right. Like this is our Yankees Dodgers year. Like it happens in every single sport where like, yeah, sometimes you get the dream matchup and then sometimes you get, I don't know, the A's versus whoever. And you're like, yeah, that was like not a great World Series. So it happens in every sport. It just so happens with golf when it's not a team sport. Like no matter what team in any other sport makes the finals or the World Series or whatever, that team has a fan base largely. There's those people, there's people who will live in that area who watch that team and are going to watch it no matter what. If Matthew Pavone wins at a golf tournament, I don't know how many Matthew Pavone fans there are. So that rating is going to be way, 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 way down.
I couldn't agree more. I think, look, it's true that at any given tournament, anybody can win. I think it's unbelievably exciting when that anybody is kind of, it appears narrowed to like 10 guys, and those 10 guys are the biggest stars in the game. And we kind of came in that, credit to us. It was like, I think before this really started going nuts, maybe Rory had just won at Pebble or something. It wasn't like we had as many of these as we've had. There was sort of this conversation that we had about, holy shit, it really does feel like if Scotty isn't the guy rattling off every win this year, that we could have stars emerging, stars winning titles, and that's what we've got. And those clips matter, man. Like JT making that, whatever that was, 17-foot birdie putt in the playoff and having the big fist pump, having the emotional interview afterwards. It's his first win, as a married guy who's now a father and having his family out there. And that guy being a giant star that people know, people that watch NBA playoffs and are watching NHL and watch NFL and whatever, like having them be like, oh, I know that JT's fucking winning. All right, that's great. Having them see Rory, win the Masters, and then looking afterwards at every sports, show that we have at Barstool, the Rory McIlroy clip was their next clip that Monday, whether it's Pardon My Take or it's, whoever the hell it is, the Chicklets guys, the Unnamed show, they're all weighing in on Rory McIlroy. And that is just phenomenal for golf. It's phenomenal for getting people hyped up about it. When you hear, Rory's and the JTs and all these guys talk about what inspired them to choose to play golf over other sports, they all go back to like watching Tiger Woods. And that now is like, that's very pivotal in terms of getting young fans into the game of golf, is having the stars emerge and having it not appear boring, having it be mainstream, having it, the other kids at school are talking about golf, they're watching golf, their dads and their moms and their friends are talking about Roy McIlroy or Justin Thomas or Ludwig or Bryson. Like that is so goddamn good for the growth of the game of golf. So yeah, it really has been such a good start. And there is this huge concern in golf that post Tiger Woods, post Phil Mickelson, what are you going to do? You just don't have that crutch that you could just lean on. You don't have basically the most famous person in the world, which is what Tiger Woods was for a while, who's just going to deliver interest and more interest and more interest, so much so that they're putting out documentaries this past Sunday from Tiger Woods' season 25 years ago. They're like still trying to like milk the Tiger Woods thing, which I watch, by the way, I want to talk about. But yeah, it is it's super fucking exciting. And we said it going into the Masters tournament. We were like, dude, it feels like this is going to be a couple big stars going up against each other. And what do we get, man? We ended up, obviously, with Justin Rose, who's who's great in a playoff against Rory, but it was like Bryson and Rory and the rematch, and everybody was so hyped up about it. And it's great, like you said, Trent, to see the ratings are kind of backing up what we said, because if you have all your stars going at it and then there's still no ratings, you might just not have a good product ever.
I might be in a little bit of a Scotty Scheffler situation right now with Justin Thomas. I don't want to say that it's gotten to the point of Scotty, but I do want to say that I sent him a text message after he had won. I sent him a text message yesterday and said something to the effect of, golf is better when JT's at the top. Congrats on the dub. So happy for you, man. And it never went through. So no deliver. And then now if you go to text, it's an SMS. So maybe it's a number change. It might be a number change, or it's a block. So a little bit different than this guy's situation in the sense that those were going through real nice, delivered, sometimes even read, and then no answer for 3 years. This one feels a little bit like lose my number and never find it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm in my own head about it now at this point. I don't know that anybody likes me. No one listening, no one that plays on tour, anybody. So whatever. I got a baby coming who like has to love me, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's interesting, and that's devastating news for you. I don't know I don't think, at least to my knowledge, I don't think I've ever been blocked by anybody, like in terms of a number. But I don't know what that looks like when you try to send them a message. Like if you, Frank, if you blocked me right now and I sent you a message, what would happen?
I don't think it would go through, man.
But would it turn to SMS? Because SMS is like a number change to me.
It feels like a number change because the last one I had sent him was in September. A lot of things could have happened since September.
You also could have said something that he's like, I mean, this guy.
I don't know, man. We've had a pretty good back and forth. It's been pretty cordial. It's been pretty positive in there. It's been a lot of like big life events. Like when he like announced that he was having a baby, I'm like, that's awesome, dude. Congratulations. Like best of luck. You know, it's really nothing too crazy. There's no real. A couple times I asked him to do a video, probably pissed him off. I don't know.
We had a couple back and forths. This was for me and him in Instagram DMs about me digging a hole at TBC Sawgrass.
It feels like a number change. So I'm not going to get too worked up about it, but I just figured I'd alert the people knowing that like it's something I'm dealing with across the PGA Tour at this point. And I'm sure that the people who are listening are happy about that because that's how it should be. I shouldn't have access to talk to any of these guys. You know, I'm in my room. I got bobbleheads behind me still. And like, I say that all the time to the Islanders. Like Matt Martin just FaceTimed me and I didn't answer. And like I look back and I've got his bobblehead back there. And I sometimes tell them like, you guys shouldn't be talking to me, you know. And that's not to say like I'm cool. This guy, like I am concerned that they are talking to me. A couple of them came to my wedding and I looked at them. I'm like, you guys shouldn't have done that. Like I used to like wait outside. I wore John Tavares' shoes in the locker room just to see what it would feel like to be the captain of the New York Islanders. I snuck in. I walked around the locker room and I put his shoes on. I mean, and I wasn't that young. You know what I mean? Like if you could go back and do the math, like he had, you know, it's not like I was 7. I was maybe 17.
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 18. Yeah. I was driving. I drove myself there. So, that's all I'm saying. I mean, I'm not saying anything weird, you know, I'm not gonna like, I'm just saying I'm a fan. You know, like when I'm talking to JT, I'm a fan, dude. Like I don't think I'm their buddy. I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan. I'll always be a fan.
I feel that way all the time. I've felt that way, especially with our guy Noah Khan, where I'm just like, I'm just a huge fan. And I listen, if you want to be friends, that's cool. But it's like, and I'm down to be friends, but like I'm just a massive, massive fan. And I almost regret saying it even in this moment because we have had such good times together. He's been nothing but nice to us, and we will continue that rapport. But like when I see him, and I mean I listen to his music there's very few people like in our lives that we have met that we have pretty constant contact with that I'm just like, dude, I listen to you almost every single day. And he's the one guy who fits in that category. So I get what you mean. Like, it's never really clicked with me where like, and I've never spent enough time with any of the people that we've come into contact over the years where I could be like, we're friends, but there's a lot of them where I'm just like, I'm a huge fan, and that's never going to change. Like,
fan. You're
I'm old.
staring at them.
I'm gonna be 40 in like 4 years, but I'm still just a fan of things. And sometimes we're lucky enough to come into contact with the things and people that I'm a fan of, and that dynamic never changes for me ever.
Dude, like, yeah, it's gonna be weird if it gets back to him, but like, you're with Noah Khan, you're just staring at him. You know, we're playing golf with him, you're just looking at him, and you're like, listen to you all the time. You know, can't drive to get coffee without your voice playing in my car. So like at that point, like, huge fan. You know, know everything about you. Know the inflections in your voice. I know when you want to belt it out. I know when you want to get a little low with it. Like I know a lot about you. I know your writing style. I know about your parents. I know, I know the lyrics. I know your life. I know the way that you think now. Like, just huge fan, dude. You know, like,
just a big fan,
man.
Yeah, no, I feel
fans, and then there's just people.
I feel a little naked, even just like talking like that, but it's true, man. And it's, I totally get what you're saying, but just is what it is. Just is what it is, man. You got any Lou Lamoriello thoughts that aren't going to take 25 minutes?
I do have some Lou Lamoriello thoughts. Lou Lamoriello's out as the GM of the New York Islanders. Shocking to some people. I feel like it's been shocking to like the hockey world because he's such a legend in the game that just letting his contract expire is like stunning to some people. But as an Islander fan, I don't know. I think we saw this coming. I think the Islanders have had a real big setback this year, and he's 82 years old. And anything that he would have done going forward would have been looked at from like a negative standpoint from the fans. Speaking of fans. So I do think it was like the right decision as a franchise. Like even if he went out and had a great offseason, we just have this like negative viewpoint of what he's doing now. So he couldn't have won. Like he's in a lose-lose situation. If a new GM comes in and makes the same moves that Lou would have made, it's just going to feel fresh. There's just something about like that new voice and that new vision where you're like, oh, this new guy came in and made this move. We love it. Or if Lou did it, it would have been like, oh, he's just being soft and he's like, it's a country club and he's got the same, like, it's just, he lost kind of the fan base, and that's not fair because he brought a winning culture to the Islanders, not the winning culture because they didn't win the cup, but you guys would know. I mean, the Islanders were the worst fucking franchise of all time. Like if you were a general fan of hockey, you knew that the Islanders were just the worst, bottom of the barrel. And then all of a sudden they made it to like back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. They brought in Barry Trotz. They went out and had an amazing offseason, bringing in like real great depth players, and then bang, you're in the mix. So I'm excited though. I'm very excited to see who's going to take over. And that's really all I got to say about that.
We'll move on. We can move on. The women are playing the first major championship of the year. It's the Chevron this week. I was all of a sudden seeing a bunch of content, hype leading up to it. It really made me go back and check. It was like right now, last year, is we're in that stretch of Nelly Corda winning every event in a row. And then she capped it off with a major championship. But that was a time when, remember Stuart Scotty had won, like he had won the Masters, he had won the Players Championship, he had won several, in a row in that stretch, and the two of the biggest tournaments that we got. And then Nelly Corda had won literally like whatever it was, 5-6 starts in a row, and we kind of had those two concurring storylines going in. But yeah, this week on the LPGA, we haven't really talked much LPGA this year. It's obviously kind of, we were talking a lot about JT just now, of course, and the hype being better, and the whole game being better when he's playing well and winning, when Rory's playing well and winning. The women's game for us obviously is much better when Nelly Corda is playing well and winning. She's been playing well this year. I looked at her results. She's not winning, but she's got some damn good finishes. She's of course going in where she's the defending champion. So yeah, we got our first LPGA major of the year this week. So tune into that.
Yeah, that was that TaylorMade run last year of Scotty and Nelly was like, I can't even imagine what they were feeling like. There was like, you can just put them on every single poster every single week because they won every tournament. So yeah, hopefully Nelly gets back to that form. I know she's not playing bad, but yeah, that was an amazing stretch that she had last year. Amazing.
Yeah, she's got a T16, T22, T7, and a second place finish are her finishes so far this year. And again, that's only 4 events. So like I said, they're It just hasn't been. I haven't seen much. Hasn't been a ton of juice thus far. Last year at this point, she had gone T16, and then she went first, tied for 7th, first.
Crazy. Oh,
And
golf
then,
smart.
dude, do you remember this? Then she went miscut at the U.S. Women's Open. She made that what'd she make, like a 12 on a hole, or she made a 10 on that par 3.
Yeah.
She went 3 miscuts in a row, and then she came battling back again and went tied for 26, tied for 2nd, tied for 5th, first, tied for 5th. So those were her last 5 starts last year with those 3 miscuts in the middle. So yeah, she just, even when she had that 10 at the U.S. Women's Open, she was the talk of the town. Everybody was showing off the clips, and she was up there. So yeah, hopefully she plays well this week. And down at the old Chevron, the women are going to be kicking off the major championship season.
Did we talk about on this show the I don't know if we did or not. The announcement happened a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. The mixed teams at the upcoming Olympics.
Yeah,
That's
did.
going to be fucking awesome.
Awesome.
Gives us more golf to watch. It gives, the players multiple things to kind of care about for those 2 weeks of the Olympics. You got guys like Rory McIlroy that'll play in both, right? I mean, you'll see a lot of it. So you see a lot of golf during the Olympics, which is great, and it really is going to highlight how good the female golfers are.
Right.
In our video with Nelly Korda, both of them. I mean, we've done 2 or 3 of them now, but the one from this year where we played her, we were like a 3-man scramble against her. She's so good at the game of golf. Like we've always said, if you just put them at a distance where it becomes fair, their short game is just, from 150 yards in, it's just as good. Nelly Korda can hit it just as close and make just as many putts as anybody in the world. So go watch that video we did with her this year. She hits some like touch wedge shots that are 1 in a million to pull off. Just really, really good golfer. So yeah, Olympics is going to be really cool.
The mixed team event, that's a fantastic idea. It's kind of been trending in that direction, and I do think when I think about the Olympics in the golf, it was great this last year with Scotty coming back and winning, and kind of the reaction that a lot of players had to it. I think one of Rory's comments afterwards was him just kind of highlighting the fact that the 2 biggest in his mind like events that they have in golf, the Ryder Cup, the Olympic, the Olympic golf, are where you just play for no money, and he was kind of highlighting that. So the golf, the Olympic golf did get a lot of kind of it's gotten a lot of juice since the start of it, when like people weren't even playing. Remember, like nobody went when it was in what was it? When it was in Brazil and Gil Hanse designed the course. Like people just didn't even fucking go and play in it now. But the one kind of negative, or the one takeaway, was like, how come there's not a team aspect to it? How come we're just watching what seems like a week in, week out golf tournament, same format, just higher stakes because people are playing for a gold medal? What really gets everybody going with these international team, battles is the team aspect of it, of like going into a heated match with your fellow countrymen, fellow countrywomen, and battling against others. And they've done it with like a mixed element to it, is just absolutely phenomenal, because we don't get that very often. The one time we do get it, it's sort of a hit and giggle that they do in what is considered the golf off season. So yeah, that'll be very, very, very cool. I think we're going to see some badass golf. And yeah, Nelly too was like piping the ball out there. I mean, there's like, you got to make sure you hit your ass. In those videos we do, you got to hit your ass a good drive, or she's going to not just outdrive you, like smash it past us. So she can hit the goddamn golf ball.
Guys, what do you think about, I tried to come up with some names that could play PGA Tour players in a movie. What do you guys think of, and I'm just going to throw out one at you, and it could just be one today. What do you guys think about for Rory McIlroy, James Marsden?
Yep. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Hold on, I'm looking up. I'm looking up who that is. Oh yeah, I know who that is.
What do you think about James Marsden? We kind of pencil him in right now as Rory McIlroy.
I had a guy DM me a Rory McIlroy actor, and I wish.
Oh my god!
Maybe I'll pull him up. I'll pull him up here. Hold on.
He's got that Rory face, man.
Yeah, that's actually really. Oh no, this guy's not going to work now. I forgot he's old now. Somebody sent me Hugh Grant. but he's old.
Ooh.
Hugh Grant, not bad, not bad. I think if we're studio heads right now and we're looking at headshots, I'm kind of pinning James Marsden at the top for Rory McIlroy. Especially he's in paradise right now. He's on the new Hulu show. He's hot in the streets. He's a hot guy.
I like it.
We want this movie to bang. James Marsden to me is a big get.
What you got to think about with the Rory movie is, are you doing it in a way where you're showing different stages of his life? So you might need 3 different Rorys.
Yeah. Yeah. James Marsden, I think, is like hot Rory, like right now, winning the Masters, dealing with a lot of like personal issues.
Not dumpy Rory, when he had like the long flow and he was just kind of like.
There's got to be a guy out there that looks like.
No offense to the Irish. I'm Irish, but there's a million of those guys, I would imagine.
And the other one I'll throw out there is, and I'm going to cast him immediately. This is a shoe-in for the movie. It's Brooks Koepka, going to be played by, oh my God, why am I blanking on his name? Who's Thanos? Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin. That's a good one.
Josh Brolin will be playing Brooks Koepka.
That is a good one.
I often think that like they could show up to each other's jobs right now and kind of get away with it for a couple seconds. Go look up Josh Brolin and tell me that's not Brooks Koepka. And if you want some sort of comedic relief, you throw in Owen Wilson for Will Zalatoris. So we can start to build this movie out. And I know there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. Like I know that they have a TV show right now that's coming out, right? I mean, Owen Wilson has a TV show that's coming out. I think Will Ferrell has a TV show that's coming out. Happy Gilmore's coming out. I'm just talking about, I've just been watching a lot of movies, and I'm just talking about what guys look like them and what can play them. Yeah, Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin is Brooks Koepka.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's a good one.
You are right, though. Like there's like 3 or 4 golf series like about to come out. Like there's the Owen Wilson one, there's the Will Ferrell one. Like that can help a sport too. Like we talk a lot about Full Swing and like the F1 effect and how that can help a sport. I think just being a part of culture and having people watch something that is somehow connected to the sport, like I think that can really help. And for whatever reason, there's like a gold rush of golf shows right now.
I mean, similar to YouTube, like there's a million different YouTube brands. I think every studios like we got to get in on this golf thing, and like even the actors are like, I want to do a golf thing.
I was wondering the same thing. Is this like a product of they're seeing that the YouTube golf thing is popular, they're seeing that golf in general is up and popular, and they're like, there's a new golf league that people are talking about, the debate between the two of them, we got to get in on this shit. It's unlike anything else. And then all of a sudden you get, I can't remember the last time there was like a legitimate golf production TV show or series or movie,
right? Like we had that run 20 years ago of what I felt like were golf movies, but like, what's the last golf movie that was made? I can't even think of.
There was a movie that just came out that was actually pretty solid with all those that team of like, I don't know if were they like Mexican kids? What was that? I watched it on a plane. It was a pretty damn good movie. What was that movie? They were
The
caddies,
Long Game?
The Long Game.
I just Googled it. I haven't seen this.
It's pretty good, dude. They're like caddies at a club, and then they like play on a high school team. Pretty good movie. Like actually
Dennis
well
Quaid?
done. Dennis Quaid is the head coach. I got to be honest, it's got that old school movie feel, almost like The Rookie, It's like it really does. I'm just naming another Dennis Quaid movie, but like that, like to me, like that is it is it's a solid movie. Okay. You got that one, and there's another one that I'm thinking of that had come out recently.
Well, I mean, there's obviously Happy Gilmore too. Like, I don't want people to be like, "Well, Happy Gilmore 2's coming out," but like that's in its own category. I mean, like a golf, like just you don't get a lot of those.
No, you don't.
No.
Greatest Game Ever Played, still the best golf movie.
Really good.
It's a really, really good one. That's a really good
Legend
one.
of Bagger Vance. That was one.
It's a great one too. Is that Will Smith?
No, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Is that Will Smith and like Matt Damon?
I think the Legend of Bagger Vance is Will Smith and Matt Damon.
It is. Sure. I just looked it up.
Yeah, that's
directed
right.
by Robert
Redford. Movie.
And those are huge actors playing in a golf movie. You know what I mean?
But what year was that? What year?
2000, dude. That's Tiger Woods,
years
dude.
ago.
2000.
I know, but I'm saying, like, think about that. The fact, I mean, Will Smith, that's Men in Black Will Smith, is it not? I mean, the year 2000?
That Men in Black was Here Goes the Worst Dozen Team in the World. I think we were like 2001 was Men in Black.
All right, so the legend of
1997.
Bagger Vance led into Men. What is it?
2000 or 1997. And
What I'm saying, dude, Men in Black, Will Smith went on to do a golf movie, like in the year 2000. Was that the Tiger
Dude,
effect?
it's Tiger. Tiger Woods' year was 2000. Tiger Woods won 8 times in 1999 and then 9 times in 2000. So he was like the guy.
Damn.
It's the same thing that we're talking about with what's happening now, where we're like, it just happens like what catapults it is different. It was Tiger then. Now it's like there's buzz around Live and YouTube golf and there starts to bubble like, golf is back. Golf is just back.
When did the movie 61 come out? Did that come out around the home run, like McGuire and Sammy Sosa? Like, does movie studios just come out with? Do they just come out with movies like as things are just hot? I mean, I would assume that makes sense.
A couple years later. It was 2001. It was 2001.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean
But
to ruin that. I'm on a hot streak of Google and stuff. Feels good to know stuff.
The reason, well, this is the opposite, I guess. And I don't even know if this is true. I never really looked into it, but I tell people like it's the truth. The reason that the Toronto Raptors are the Raptors is because Jurassic Park was popular at the time.
You gotta be kidding me.
That's a thing that I've just been saying to people for a long time because I heard it one time in a bar.
You gotta be kidding me.
I don't know if that's right.
They were just like, Jurassic Park's huge. We need to get a dinosaur in here. So we're gonna call. I mean, it's the sickest name ever, and it obviously has nothing to do with the city, right? Like the Toronto Raptors has nothing to do with it. It can't.
It says, okay, this is an AI overview. So again, I don't know how much we trust the AI right now. It feels like it's kind of on a drought right now. But the Toronto Raptors were named after a Name the Team contest held in 1994, with Raptors being one of the final 10 options. The name was inspired by the 1993 film Jurassic Park, which featured Velociraptors. Team's ownership also considered other names, including T-Rex, but ultimately chose Raptors for its association with the film and the speed, ferocity, and intelligence of the dinosaurs. T-Rex would have been not a great name, I don't think.
There you go. That person who 20 years or however long, 15 years ago, told me in a bar that was the case, that person was right. And I appreciate them.
It says other names, options included dragons, beavers, bobcats.
Dragons, beavers, bobcats.
Sport Clips is not just where you get a haircut. It's your playbook for looking fresh. Walk in, catch the game, and sit back while the pros and men's hair handle the rest. And when you're done, walk out feeling like you're ready to take on anything. No hassle, no surprises, just a solid cut every time. It's simple, it's easy. It's made for guys who want to feel like they've got the home field advantage. And if you want to track your real-time wait times, you just download the app and check in online. It's a huge feature, so you don't have to go and guess and maybe sit there for 45 minutes. You just download the app, check in online. It's the pros and men's hair. It's a great spot to get your haircut.
Yeah, I was just on the road for a while. I hadn't gotten my haircut. And then when I got back, I went right to Sport Clips and I got the MVP experience. And there's just nothing like the feeling of getting a haircut, especially if you haven't gotten one in a while. And you're like, oh, I need to get one. You go to Sport Clips. They give you the whole experience. They wash the hair. They put a warm towel on your face. They hit you with the massage gun. And there's TVs everywhere. It really is an incredible, incredible experience. And like I said, when you haven't had a haircut in a little bit and you need one, there's no better feeling than going to a Sport Clips and getting it done and having that experience.
And they got the sports on, and obviously having the app, knowing you don't have to sit around.
Yep.
You don't have to sit around waiting. Knowing when you have your time, your slot is a huge, huge asset for them. The fact that it's that seamless. So, getting your haircut is such a good feeling. It really is. It's a nice just reset. It feels like a nice reset on life. It really gets to your mentals too. Like you're walking around with just a different kind of swagger.
You walk out of that building a different person.
You really do.
Yeah. You do. Sport Clips, okay? They are the haircut experience dialed in for guys. That is Sport Clips. It's a game changer. All right, boys, let's talk about getting your money in the game the right way. You know how we obsess over every read on the green, every club selection, every wind adjustment. Well, trading crypto is the same. You need precision, reliability, and a platform that actually works when things heat up. Buy, sell, and swap over 300 cryptos, whether you're stacking Bitcoin like it's a Sunday pin placement or hunting for the next altcoin play. Kraken has got you covered. Kraken Pay, which is instant crypto payments. You send and receive payments in seconds with zero fees. Again, that's zero fees. Settle bets with the boys, split the tab after 19 holes, or pay for that emergency mid-round Bloody Mary, all without the hassle of traditional banks. But let's be honest, the best way to play the game is dollar cost averaging your investment strategy. With recurring buys on Kraken, you can link your bank in just minutes, automate your investments monthly, weekly, or even daily if you would like, and stack Bitcoin effortlessly with lower fees. Kraken's great. It's the spot to be. Money, finance, markets, crypto, all that's always kind of current, very current right now. Kraken's the spot you're going to need to be with all this.
Yeah, been the official crypto exchange of Barstool Sports for many years now. Feels like they were at the Barstool Classic last year. We got to meet a lot of the people from the company there, and it's really just an important asset to have right now to be able to trade cryptocurrency and just get involved and know what's going on in that landscape. Obviously, a lot of things are happening right now. Markets and all these things that are, you see everything on the news and things are moving up, things are moving down. It's just great to just actually be knowledgeable and have the app and like be able to go in there and know what you're doing. It's super easy and user friendly. For me, my opinion would be it'd be stupid to not get involved in something like this, because this is where the world is going.
If you're getting into crypto, make sure you play it smart. Get on Kraken, lock in your strategy, and let's send this thing. Head to kraken.com/barstool. That is KRAKEN.com/barstool. Kraken.com/barstool. Not investment advice. Crypto trading involves risk of loss and is offered to U.S. customers, excluding Washington, New York, and Maine, through Payward Interactive Incorporated.
Did they ever end up naming that Utah hockey team?
Still a hockey club. They can't do the Yeti because of the cooler.
That's right.
Which is insane, because I know that they have gone to the Yeti cooler and been like, we will partner with you for basically nothing, and you will have Yeti coolers all over this goddamn facility and all over this brand for nothing. And they still have been like, absolutely not. Because I think Yeti is pretty like,
Dude,
I don't think they mess with their brand at all.
I guess not. But the Utah Yetis is, you want
A
to talk about
winner.
a home run.
The Utah Yeti, like everything about it is so good. And now they're going to pick, I don't even know what they're going to pick. The Mammoths
Don't love it.
should be the Mormons.
Nice.
Just the
The
Utah
Mammoths.
Mormons. The
They're
Utah
bringing back
Soakers.
the Mammoth.
Bringing
Utah
back the
Soakers.
Mammoth.
Utah Soakers has some legs.
Are you saying they're bringing the mammoth out of extinction, or are you just saying what are they gonna do with mammoths?
They are trying to bring it back. I think that's the next thing they're going to do. They did what'd they just do? They did the dire wolf.
That's right. They did the dire wolf, Trent. There was I didn't listen to the whole show. I only got through a part of it at the beginning, but it was a guy who was on Rogan recently. He was like the CEO, founder of this company that they legitimately do what Jurassic Park is doing. They take the DNA from creatures that are extinct, and they find as many samples of them as they possibly can. And then they comb through and try to reconstruct it as best they possibly can. I guess AI has been incredibly helpful in doing this. And then if they can recreate that DNA, and then they take its closest living relatives. So I believe with the woolly mammoth, they were saying that the Asian elephant is the closest living descendant to the woolly mammoth. So like 99 something % of its DNA is identical to it. So they combine that with, they have like 100 something samples of, DNA from actual mammoth, fossils. And then they're just reconstructing that and then building and growing woolly mammoths. That's like what they're doing. This trend. This is what the people are
all
doing right now.
Well, let me tell you where this gets a little dicey. Just to bounce off of what you're saying there. Think if there's like an orangutan that went extinct, and they're like, "Hey, what's the thing that's got 99% DNA match with that?" Oh, it's humans. So now are we gonna have human trials of like bringing these orangutans back to life?
I agree.
You know what I mean?
It starts to
it's
get dicey.
It's a slippery slope, and then I thought you were gonna say like, well, what's next? Are they gonna create a park? And then what happens if the electricity goes out at
That,
the
of
park
course.
and the T-Rexes just jump
I'm
over
just
the
saying,
fences and start eating people that are taking shits everywhere?
I'm just saying, I think they probably, if I'm the guy running this lab, I pick the first thing I'm going to try to do. I'm going to do, a dire wolf. Oh, then I'll do a mammoth. These things have nothing to do with humans. They're just like, we got to get elephants and wolves in this lab. And then all of a sudden he brings up the next picture and it's some sort of ape. And we're like, what's next? And he's like, here we go. It's time. It's time. And you're like, oh no.
I often sit back and think about what people are doing in dark laboratories, like how far we actually are advanced that like the public doesn't know about. There's people out there doing trials of stuff that have probably successfully done things that can't be publicly shared because they're not approved, or it's just bad for like human nature to know that this stuff is possible, right? I mean, you can get so deep with everything, cures, all this stuff, but like just the advancements in technology that we probably have on this earth somewhere that we like right now, that if you found out, you'd be like, oh, it would take 100 years for me to be alive to see that. Like it's probably in a room right now. I don't know what that thing is.
Yeah.
If it's maybe they've cloned a human being. I mean, they make like, you can like get pregnant like from a laboratory scientific experiment. Essentially, they could take an egg and they could take a sperm and they can match them together and you can create life already. Like, I mean, that's been around for a long time. So now it's like, how advanced has that gotten?
I mean, they can laser your eyes in 11 seconds and you got 20/20 vision. It's like
I actually saw a video on Lasik because someone messaged me and said, you're a warrior. And I had never seen the process because I didn't really want to see it. It's outrageous how they do that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I didn't feel any of the stuff that I saw in that video.
No. Do not send me that video.
I won't. I can't. It's bad. But I mean, anything would be bad. Any sort of procedure. If I showed you like a dentist video, you'd be like, I'm never going back there. It's like, it's bad. It's blood.
No, it's
craziness.
It's all horrible. It's all gross.
I'm about to dive deep into all that because this girl's going in to have a baby at some point, and it's like that stuff starts to get real. I've watched videos on that, and it's like, what are we talking about? This is war in here. Placenta's falling out, blood everywhere. It's like, I already said, I'm not the guy in there. You know what I mean? Don't like, I'll help you as much as I can.
Don't be leaning on me,
I'm liable to be on the ground with like with wheat thins, and they're gonna have to put cold compresses on my forehead.
Oh yeah, I mean, you've seen it before, and there's probably even a meme where it's like you see the dad getting way more help than the mom, or the dad's in the corner, like everybody's tending to him. It's just like an emotional, like nauseous mess.
Oh, I get that like queasy feeling. I get that with gore like that, and I also get it with standing by edges of like, cliffs and high buildings. I start to quiver. Like my body's like, don't get close because you'll pass out. And that's how I feel walking into that room. I mean, I'm sure adrenaline's gonna take over for me, but like,
right, maybe.
And I know everyone does it. This is something billions of people have gone through. Billions. Trillions, probably. Who knows? How many people have lived?
Oh, it's a big number.
I think it's like 300 billion or something. I think, maybe you don't know. Maybe there's something lying dormant in you. There's an alpha male lying dormant in you, and the seeing the spawn of your own children is gonna shake that loose.
I don't know, man. The videos are a lot for me to handle, dude. Crazy. But you got guys, like Matt Martin, to bring it back to him. He's like, he basically pulled the babies out. He's like, he loved it. Like there's people that just love it. They love all that. Nothing bothers them.
I mean, he's a Viking.
And-
No, he's a Viking.
Yeah, he looks like
right.
Thor. Yeah,
He's like a
Chris Hemsworth.
perfect. Yeah,
Chris Hemsworth.
yeah.
Great jawline. Like he's a Viking.
Yeah.
He'd be all right.
Last thing I'm going to mention here, and then we can do some voicemails. But we've got the Zurich Classic of New Orleans this weekend, an event that we've been to many times. This crew has been well represented at the old Zurich Classic. Great food down there. I always think of Dr. Brett McCabe when he took us out on the town, showed us a couple delightful restaurants, but got some interesting teams. Once again, good old Rory and Shane Lowry are going to be defending down at the Zurich Classic. You really could look. I mean, they kind of talked about it a good amount, or they showcased it, I guess, a good amount in the Netflix show, The Full Swing. But Rory and Shane Lowry, I mean, that was kind of a little bit of a turnaround for Rory a little bit last year. Just it got his like mojo. He was falling in love with the game again. He's singing up there. He was like laughing. He's kind of enjoying the game with his buddy. He was so pumped for Shane Lowry. So the Zurich, it doesn't have the pop necessarily that you're going to see out of a ton of events, but the team aspect of it is very cool. I saw Kevin Kisner is out there. He's going to be playing with. I was surprised with Grayson Sig. We've got Morikawa and Kurt Kitayama. They're like one of the bigger teams. A team that I kind of threw on my list when I saw was JT Poston and Kashmir Keith Mitchell. I thought that team kind of sounds like a little bit of a dangerous team when I saw them on the list. And then I believe Joel Damon and Harry Higgs are playing together.
Wow.
Those two boys famously took their shirts off, a couple of years ago at the Phoenix Open, and they're playing in the old Zurich Classic together. So some fun teams down there, and we got our only team event on the PGA Tour this week.
Question: do you have to be a PGA Tour player to participate in this?
No. I believe Matthew Fitzpatrick does that with his brother. And,
yeah.
The I don't know if it was last year's season when it was like his brother played like pretty horribly and he was really rattled, but they still contended and people were kind of losing their minds in the deep throes of, golf Twitter being like, if this fucking guy gets his tour card for a couple of years because his brother carries him, that's outrageous. But I don't know if you have to be some level of.
Could Tommy Fleetwood pick Trent? And then if they win, Trent gets like PGA Tour points.
I get a tour card?
I don't know if you have to have. I don't know what minimum level of status you have to have, but I think the answer is very close to yes. in that situation.
Dude, that's something. Yeah, that's actually a really good question. Because this is Alex Fitzpatrick? Is that what his name is? What?
I think that's right.
What does he hold? I know. I mean, they had that whole Full Swing episode covering his whole deal, but so he's definitely a good golfer. But yeah, he doesn't have his tour card. No way.
Yeah, he played really well in the British Open. Remember that? He played extremely well. I think he had like a top 10 finish in the Open when Brian Harmon won. So he.
I don't have that, unfortunately.
But I don't know.
We should have had Kiz take our guy, fucking Alistair.
Imagine.
Bring him out there.
You try to fast track a guy by doing it that way. I mean, I say fast track, no offense to kids, but I don't know if it's going to happen, but you could at least try.
Just ruins Alistair's career that he goes out there and tries to play with kids and they shoot like 82s.
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah, that would have been nice. That would have been nice from kids. Maybe he needs a last second call up. I want to say, I have to look at the Korn Ferry Tour schedule, but I want to say that Alistair declined to play in the Zurich Classic, or at least had somebody that was talking to him, offering him earlier in the year because of the fucking points thing that we talked about with last year, which is there's a Korn Ferry Tour event this week, and somebody, I'm pretty sure somebody invited him to play as their partner, and he was really debating it, but was like, I'm pretty sure I can't do that because if I miss, that Korn Ferry Tour event, it's at the Texas Rangers Golf Club. I don't know, maybe he likes the venue. He thought he could get a good amount of points this week, so he was like, yeah, based on what I did last year, I simply can't be missing weeks out on the KFT, which is again ridiculous. But I do know in talking with his planning that was like top of mind. So I don't know if he officially got the invite and turned it down or not, but isn't that ridiculous?
That sucks.
So I looked this up a little bit, and when I look it up, I Googled it once and took the first thing that popped up. It says one member of each team is initially chosen via the tour power rankings, and his partner must either be a PGA Tour member or earn entry through a sponsor exemption. That doesn't tell us much. Like, is it if you pick someone, they just give them an exemption no matter who they are? I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Need Dan Rappaport.
Yeah. Tom Fleetwood made $1 million.
$8 million. 8.5.
Made like $8.
And I was like, wow, that's a lot of money for a guy that hasn't won. 27 million was the answer.
Credit to us too, correcting you on that. We were all over that. Jesus.
We're
like, yeah,
roll
sounds
with the
great.
punches, guys. You could have told me Tommy Fleetwood made 150 grand on tour, and I think me and Riggs roll right with you. We're just there.
Yeah.
We're there with
We're
you.
like, yeah, it's a pretty good amount of money. It's fun playing a game for a living. It's great. You guys crushing it.
Property must be cheap in Dubai.
Let's do some voicemails. You know, it's been a little bit since we've cranked out some voicemails. I know we had the quick update from Germany, but other than that, we haven't done a ton from the gallery. You know, it's 646, it's 685, it's 4717. People could call in. You can leave a voicemail. You can tell us a story. You can ask us a big question. You can really do whatever you would like. But
did you guys see that big fight that happened? I feel like I haven't clicked on it. It's gotten a lot of headlines.
What fight?
There was a big fight. I saw it on barstoolsports.com. I saw a headline. I didn't watch it.
Golfing fight?
There was a big golfing fight, and it was like, this is why you should let them like people play through or something like that.
Oh,
Alex, could you pull that up before we get to the voicemails? Because there was a big brawl on a tee box that's been going viral. This happens like once a year, it feels like, where just like things come to blow, it gets on camera. And it's just a shame to see this, you know, where it gets to this point. Because we've all had that fit of rage on the golf course.
You remember that one a couple years ago where the guy took his shirt off? That was a great one.
He's like, you want to meet God? Something like that. You trying to meet the Lord?
That was a really good one. Yeah, I do feel like we see a decent amount of these now, but I have not.
Canadian golfers get into a fist fight after one group accused the other group of playing too slowly, resulting in a broken jaw. Throw this on the big screen for me.
He hit up our ass all day. Don't you push me. Ooh. He pushed me first. You got one back. One back.
Oh, squaring up. Oh, shit.
Ooh, little commentary there.
You're out at the golf course, and now you're just in a fist fight.
Oh, my God.
Belly's out.
Now the shirt's off. Yeah, shirt off.
You can step in, Justin. You can. Justin.
Oh, he got clocked there.
This is crazy. This is crazy, hun.
You're crazy. Okay, cops are going in. No.
Where's this guy coming from?
No, guys.
Oh, you want to go?
Fucking crazy, man.
I think the guy with his shirt off, I think his jaw is broken.
Let's take it down a notch, guys.
That guy's just walking away. That guy's just walking away.
I think the guy with his shirt off, I think he might have ended up with a broken jaw. It is so funny. Like, you wake up that morning, put on your golf shirt, put on your golf pants, put on your golf shoes, and then in the blink of an eye, somebody's throwing haymakers at you, and they're like, "How did we get?"
Oh,
here?
dude, with the, you're missing a 3-foot putt. You know, you just nipped a wedge up to like 3.5 feet. You missed it on the low side. You're kind of pissed off. 10 seconds later, you're getting your jaw broken. You know what I mean? Like you 1.5 minutes before you got your jaw broken, the biggest stress of your life was like, do you take a hybrid or do you take just like a 7-iron and punch out? You know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, you are on the ground, bleeding, walking away with your tits out.
Are you
gotta
guys more surprised or less surprised if this doesn't happen more often?
I don't know how often it happens and just doesn't get recorded, because I feel like things escalate pretty quickly. People get mad on the golf course. Like Frankie said, we've all been in a fit of rage at times on the golf course. You're pissed off. Even like I look at it like men's league hockey. I know it's like more of a physical thing, but it's like there are people out there that are just waiting to blow a gasket on somebody. Like they're just going, they need a release. It's life, it's work, it's family. And I feel like you're going to get that on the golf course too, even though it's like, let's have a leisurely day. Can't wait to be out there with the boys. And the next thing you know, you're 2-3 holes in. I mean, you got professional golfers who are throwing golf clubs. I saw the clip the other day. Rory throwing it in the fucking water. He's losing his mind. Scotty this past weekend slamming clubs into the ground. So then you get some average Joe Schmo who has absolutely no control over his emotions or over his like frustration and rage towards stuff. I feel like it probably, I don't think it escalates to that level. That was unbelievable as often, but I think there's a good amount of confrontations on golf courses. You know, there has to be.
Sometimes you've got 8 liquored up, just meatheads, just that kind of all conjoin in one frustrated point. I think it happens more often than we think.
That's a good point. You get a bunch of drunk guys anywhere, there's going to be some yelling and maybe some punches.
And it's just it's golf nature to just be like, these fucking guys, you know, like anything. It sets you off real quick. You know, a guy drives in the middle of the fairway and then he leaves, and then you hit your drive, but then you all of a sudden you see the cart come back, and they're like driving around, they're dropping people off. They don't really know how to do the carts, and you're like, what are these fucking guys doing? Immediately you're on high alert. You're like, fuck these guys. They're on the green. They're putting like they're at the Masters. They're taking a million minutes to read putts, and you start screaming, let's go. And then they don't like that. And then it's as simple as that. You say the wrong thing to the wrong person, and it's over. And that happens probably once a day.
I believe I included that in one of my original sample blogs to Dave Portnoy, where I listed like I listed like interactions where people just instantly are at odds with each other and they're instantly enemies with each other without knowing one another. Another one was like a crosswalk and a driver. And it was just like the driver always thinks the people walking that are pedestrians are fucking idiots and that they're just like doing it wrong and you would run them over and you hate them. And then the people that are pedestrians are always thinking that the driver's a total cocksucker that is just reckless and is going to like kill people. And I believe golf course same, where it was like two different foursomes. And it was like, you always think they're playing too slow. You always think that like they have no fucking clue what they're doing. They're idiots. They don't know how to drive a golf cart. Rah, rah, rah. They're leaving golf clubs, whatever. They're too loud. And then you always think the group behind you, you're like, why won't these fucking dickheads get off our asses? Is that guy standing with his hand on his hip while he's holding his driver? We just teed off. We just got out in the fairway. And you're looking back. It's like, you just hate each other for no reason. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that fight was, that was something.
All right, a lot of talk about the eyes lately on this show. We're doing quite a bit of eye talking even the other day out in Iowa as it was sunny, it was a little bit windy. Very important out there to protect your eyes. Shades are cool, sunglasses are cool, and Shady Rays is the spot to get them. You got to get ready for your next adventure with shades that are built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that will not break the bank. Shady Rays is also a proudly independent sunglasses company offering top-tier quality that rivals even the most expensive brands. And here's the best part. If your shades go MIA or take a hit, which happens all the time with sunglasses, you don't have to sweat it. They've got lost and broken protection, so you're covered from day one. Shady Rays, just for me, you got to have them.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to become a full-time sunglasses guy now. You know, I have done something to my eyes. I've gotten LASIK, and I've taken, I think it's not a negative, but one of the effects of it is you have to now protect your eyes. You know, you took a layer off and you want to make sure that you're not really burning them out there in the sun, which you shouldn't have been doing in the first place. So being out there on the golf course, wearing sunglasses is very important. If I want to be able to have healthy, good vision, wake up, feel good, I got to be able to protect them in the highest sun parts of the day. So I just got to go on Shady Rays and just load up, put them in my car, put them in my golf bag. Like they're very affordable. You can get multiple different types of lenses for different types of situations. And for me, I'm just going to have them everywhere I go and just become a sunglasses guy.
I think it's smart. I think it's very smart. I love them. I've got a bunch of pair. I do that. You know, me and Spider were talking yesterday, and I was saying, I was like, yeah, I love the obviously the lost or broken policy is as good as it gets. But maybe every year or so, I go on to Shady Rays. They've got exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays giving out their best deal for the season. You go to shadyrays.com, use the code FORE, you get 35% off polarized sunglasses. So I'll go on there and just grab a handful of pair that I really like. You type in, you know, our code which is FORE, F-O-R-E, for 35% off. And then you're just loaded up on great pairs of sunglasses. They got so many different styles, different colors, different lens colors, all kinds of good stuff on there. So I do it pretty frequently, and it goes a really long way. I like having a bunch of different pairs of sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades that are rated, by the way, 5 stars by over 300,000 people. That is code 4 at shadyrays.com for 35% off. All right, we want to do a couple voicemails. You got any voicemails there? Alex Bush, 646-685-4717.
Hey, fellas, this is Corey from Akron, Ohio. I had an interesting thought. Who do you think in the entire course of human history has struck the most golf balls? That includes practice, that includes driving range, that includes putts, that includes tournaments, all of it. My initial thought was Tiger, just because he was, his work ethic is world renowned, but you hear these stories of like Vijay Singh on the driving range, like 2.5 hours before the round, 2.5 hours after the round. So I was just curious of your guys' thoughts. I'll see you guys at Oakmont.
See you at Oakmont. My first instinct was Vijay Singh, just because he's got 12 years on Tiger Woods. He is known as a just range rat. I believe that a big part of the reason he has gone through so many caddies is that working for Vijay Singh. Like if you work for, I don't know, our boy like Joel Damon, I think Joel's like showing up. It's not that he's not warming up, but Joel ain't like one of those guys, from my knowledge, is staying there on the range afterwards for like 5 hours hitting balls like Bryson does. I think Vijay Singh would be like, all right, we're getting there early. We're hitting balls. We're playing a practice round, and then we're going to hit balls until the sun goes down. We're going to do that every day, and my caddy needs to be there with me. So just all those tales as a 62-year-old man, I think Vijay Singh has hit a lot of golf balls.
Yeah, these guys hit a lot of golf balls. I mean, this was on 4/9, so that was April 9th, which was Wednesday. So Wednesday, a Wednesday of the Masters, Bryson DeChambeau hit 393 shots on the driving range at Augusta National.
That's so
393.
So, that's so many.
Like if he's doing that on a Wednesday before the Masters, like that guy is maybe hitting 600 on a day off. Like that's crazy. That's just prep. These guys are hitting balls like you can't even imagine. 393, my fingers would fall off.
My gut also is Vijay Singh, just because he has that reputation. My question would be, you almost have to go backwards and like, what was Vijay Singh's youth like? Like, because you look at a guy like Rory, who has been doing this, and Tiger, who they were playing golf from the time that they were 2. And I'm not saying they're going to the range hitting a million golf balls, but they're hitting a couple. Like, and then when you start to get 8, 9, 10, 11, you start to really pick up the game. Like I can just picture a very young Rory and certainly a very young Tiger just like hitting a ton of balls when they're like 12 years old. And I don't know what Vijay Singh's whole life is like. I just know more about Rory and Tiger. But like in that respect, because you got to think it's Tiger Woods, because Earl had to have him hitting 1,000 golf balls a day since the time he was 10.
Yeah, but I don't know that Tiger was hitting more than like Justin Thomas growing up, Like I just think, and I know, and Tiger also has had like 10 years where he really hasn't hit that many golf balls.
Yeah,
that's a good point too.
A big one for me, I'm gonna throw out there is Mr. Gary Player, a host of ours. Hosted myself and Trent. Mr. Gary Player is 89 years old. Mr. Gary Player, I believe, is still hitting golf balls on the daily and has been doing that for 80 years. This guy's been hitting golf balls. I just don't know how you beat that number. He's got 40 years on Tiger Woods in terms of how many years he's been hitting golf balls.
That's the answer. No one has played to the level of Gary Player to his age and been on the tour. Like I'm sure there's like an 89-year-old out there that's still hitting balls at his local like Boca Raton Country Club that like we don't know about. Someone that's like 96 that still hits the range, but like no one has played to the level of Gary Player at that age where he's still going out there at Augusta National and doing the whole kick, and he still looks limber. And
I do like the thought of a guy who just like his family has money. He picked up the golf when he was really young and it never clicked. He was never going to be a pro, but he just played golf every single day of his life. And like you said, he's 98 now. He's lived an incredible life, played 14 million rounds of golf, and he's like 76 golf balls higher than Gary Player or something. Like there's just a random
There's some
dude.
guys out there that log fucking golf course, that log rounds of golf. My father-in-law's in like a golf group. They all meet Eisenhower. They play 3 times a week. One of the guys in his groups put in 250 rounds in his Gin app last year.
Huh.
18 holes.
Oh my,
60-something years
amazing.
old. 250 rounds of golf. It's like every single day. I mean, come on. It's fucking crazy. You know, there's people out there that hit golf balls.
I know there are plenty of people in Arizona I know that log like over 365 rounds a year. I know that for a fact. Like that's just they play golf every day, and many days they'll play 36 holes. That's what people do.
That's insane.
But even in that situation, you're still, I don't think even like a normal person is not coming close, because you're looking at these guys, these tour pros, when they go up and they hit that range. Like that was a Bryson range session at the Masters. I saw like Max Homa hit like 200 something balls while he's at like the Masters tournament practicing. Those guys are hitting hundreds and hundreds of balls a day, whereas for this 15-20 year period, maybe longer, whereas like your local golf course rat who's just there nonstop actually had a job that got them there, and while they were doing that job they couldn't hit that many balls every day. It's like they just couldn't. They just lost so many years, I feel like, against
I do
these
think
people.
though I think, like I'm saying, there's somebody on that list who never had a job and never had to have a job. There's a lot of rich people out there, and those rich people have kids. So he's just out there. But yeah, so like Gary Player is probably number one. But to me, the most interesting person on that list is the first person you see who isn't like Gary or Tiger or Rory. It's like, what has this person been doing for the last 40 years?
So you got this guy, Jamie Kennedy from Golf Digest, I guess was tracking all of the data from the range, because they were giving out every shot link and all of that were on the range at the Masters. IBM was really pushing that their technology had reached the practice facility. And he tracked most balls hit through the first 2 days and then least amount of balls hit through the first 2 days.
Ooh.
Bryson DeChambeau was at 488. And the lowest was Aaron Rye at 57 practice swings. 488 to 57. That is an insane comparison. Aaron Rye is such an interesting cat. What an interesting guy.
How did he do? Where did he finish that week?
I don't know, man. He's got those eyes, though. Like did you see those? If you type in Aaron Rye, it's the picture of him with both gloves and he's finishing his swing and he's staring down the ball in the air.
He finished 227, so it's
pretty solid,
pretty good.
Sergio Garcia with 63 practice swings, Rafael Campo 65, Lucas Glover 70, Will Zalatoris 70. Then you had Bryson at 488, Olazabal 422, Max Homa 390, the Postman 350, and Jordan Spieth 388.
Jordan's still grinding.
Like Jordan Spieth 388, Will Zalatoris 70. That is like, and I know that he probably hits more on the range and then Will putts more or whatever it is. They're still preparing, but that's hours worth of more
There's
work.
also a big difference between preparing and searching. I think Jordan Spieth does a lot of searching. I think like one of the questions that they asked Rory in one of his interviews was like, Bryson is hitting so many balls on the range, and like you're not. Do you show up here like working on anything, or are you kind of like set? And his answer was sort of like, yeah, I mean, I'm fine tuning a couple things and whatnot, but yeah, like I don't. He doesn't need to hit 400 balls in the range. Rory's won, the Players Championship. He won Pebble Beach. His game feels amazing. He's out there like getting tuned up and ready to go. When you're over there, like dude, like Bryson's iron play for him was awful. So like after rounds, he was over there beating balls in the dark with his whole team out there while they're doing the live from coverage. Rory McIlroy's home like, I'm hitting the ball great. I chipped one in the water on 15, unfortunately. That's just, it's such a different spot to be in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rory goes home and watches Zootopia, and Bryson is still out there just hammering golf balls.
Yeah.
I typed in Bryson range on Twitter, and Trent's tweet was the first one that popped up from 2019. Him saying Bryson DeChambeau just brought Frankie Borelli on the range at PGA Championship, and it's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And for some reason, the tweet is deleted. I'm sure there was like music in the background or something. I'm not sure why it's not on Twitter anymore. But That was such a wild time. 2019. Think about now how many people that watch and consume YouTube golf and are like, Bryson's the coolest, fore-play sucks, they're losers, fucking piece of shit. And like you just go back to 2019 and we were fucking the only guys out there. Bryson's taking us out of the crowd, bringing us onto the driving range to give us a lesson before the PGA Championship at Bethpage on the Wednesday before the PGA Championship.
Yeah.
Like,
That was
just
crazy.
what a fucking ride this has been. We're now in 2025. That was 2019.
Oh, it's a hell of a
Crazy.
ride.
It really
And
is crazy.
it felt at the time like we had been on the ride and really come a long way when we got in 2019. Remember that? That was like, God,
Yes.
we have been building this thing forever. And we're here. We've got this huge moment. Holy shit. And now that was 6 years ago.
Right, because that's like when, because you look back at that time, the first New York City office is still the New York City office. So it's like it was a Wednesday and we're not in the office. That in itself is like, what we got to make sure this is worth it. And like, all right, we've built this thing up enough where we are able to leave the office as opposed to everybody going there every single day. Dave's in there, everybody's there, and we're like, we got to make this, radio's going on. We got to make this worth it. And we've really been trying. We've been doing the podcast and doing some videos. And then we did the really good video of roasting the guys walking up. And then we did the Bryson video. And it was like, all right, we might have something here. There's something to this video golf world, I think. And yeah.
It was the first acknowledgement of secondary media or whatever you want to call it at a professional golf event. It was the first like, hey, I think you guys are cool and valuable for me to bring out here. Let's do something like edgy that's never been done before and bring you out into the driving range and hit shots. And who was the golfer that gave me his wedge?
Dude, me and
lefty
ran to the parking lot. We ran to the parking lot.
Alex Beach, the only lefty in the field, I think. I mean,
I
probably
remember running to the Bethpage parking lot and getting a lefty, whatever it was.
I think that's who that was. I want to say that's who that was. Unbelievable. All right. You guys got anything else?
I don't think so.
No, my eye's been tearing, so that's a little bit of a setback, but
that's all right. I think you're gonna get over it.
Right.
Lovely catching up. Major championship golf in the women's game, a little team golf on the PGA Tour this weekend. Rory's back, so I can't wait to hear what he has to say. Pressers, him and Shane Lowry will be out there doing their thing. They were drinking beers and singing last time we saw them in New Orleans as champions. They won in the playoff, so it'll be fun to watch them. So thanks for listening again. As always, we very much appreciate it. And make sure you subscribe. Little subscription to the podcast goes a very long way. But no matter what you're watching on, whether it's Apple, Spotify, any other service, it goes a very, very long way when you subscribe. And then our McLemore, our series is starting to roll out. The travel series at places spectacularly. We love going and showing off and showcasing these types of joints. Big kudos to them welcoming us with open arms, giving us kind of full reign to film whatever we need. They were so great with managing groups behind us. We're not the fastest group when we're 6 guys out there filming. We got drones. We got, all kinds of chatter going on, trying to talk to the camera, trying to get all the reactions that we possibly can. And the whole crew at the McLemore Resort was just phenomenal with dealing with everything, which, again, is not easy. That's kind of our studio out there on the golf course. There's other people trying to enjoy the resort as well. But, yeah, from the dinners to the lodging to the golf, it was top notch. I can't wait for people to see it. So make sure you check all that out on YouTube and then subscribe everywhere. It goes a long way. That's all I got. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit hard.